All right, for my second textual artifact, I decided to do the movie series Harry Potter, and I pretty much compared that to Cinderella. That was kind of the main fairy tale that I decided to compare to. I thought that being a child orphan and then being placed into somewhere, he had family members, but in Cinderella, depending on which version you go off of, the Grimm one, her dad was still alive, just not really in the picture for the book, or for the story, I should say. But I thought that the way that Harry's aunt and uncle treated him compared a lot to how the stepmother in Cinderella and the Grimm brothers version compared. I I really enjoy those movies. That's why I felt like it would be a pretty easy connection to see how Harry Potter can connect to fairy tales. I think that in some ways it definitely went away from traditional fairy tales was how dark it is. Like fairy tales really address or fairy tales don't really address death other than saying like was without a mother or mother was no longer around. But in Harry Potter it's pretty graphic on what we see, like in a sense of who all is dying and how that's all being related. I would recommend this to the class. I just think that as a whole, you do see all of these fairy tale elements that we kind of went over in the class with the character development, with a lot of different things, with how the timeline of the story and how it kind of goes through. But I think that as a whole, it does a really good job about that. I also think that I did Divergent for the last one. I do think that this might be even better in a way to compare it to a fairy tale. I think Divergent is a little bit more out there of a connection, but I think this one is definitely an easier connection to make.